Oh, when I what the fuck? Why Monster House? Oh, okay. Because I said, okay, we have 3 minutes to talk before Andrew, and then I thought about 3 seconds on the clock. You know, when he shoots the basketball. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
3 seconds on the clock. All right. Anyway,
And
so
and when he does the.
Oh, I didn't watch that movie soon, dude. I love that movie. Dude, Nevercracker. I didn't know it was Steve Buscemi until like a year ago.
Yeah.
Mr. Buscemi.
And it's, the movie was produced by Spielberg.
That's awesome. I didn't know that.
Because Spielberg wanted to make a children's horror movie.
That's awesome.
Like, that's literally what it is.
That's so sick. Okay. Let's talk really quick about the movie news. Unfortunately, The Batman 2 has been delayed an entire year.
Minus 1 day.
Oh,
So
okay.
364 days. It was delayed 364 days. It was originally going to come out October 3rd, 2025. Now it's coming out October 2nd, 2026.
And I'm going to ask you a question about it. Why? What the fuck, dude? I'm so upset right now.
I know. Like, we know nothing about that movie, and it was
Nothing!
like one of my most anticipated movies ever.
Bro, listen. Why do you think this is happening? What do you? I think I have a potential reason as to why. Why do you think this is happening?
I think it may or may not have to do with James Gunn's universe.
That's what I think. Because oh, sorry, no, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Because my friend Devin sent the post to me like this is happening. I was like, what the fuck? And I was like, why was this happening? And so I thought about Superman comes out in 2025, and I think they might want to have as much hype around that as possible.
Mm.
What do you think?
Gotcha.
What do you think?
Well, that's kind of all the movie news we have.
Well, what do you think? Like,
this was just
that,
today.
Is that why you think that? Is because Superman?
I think
Legacy's
so.
coming out?
Yeah. I don't think it has to do with Matt Reeves like writing the script.
Apparently, there's been stuff sent to like scripts sent, so they're done with at least one. You know. So yeah. Sucks. Everything is terrible. Everything is awesome, dude. Lego Movie, awesome.
Well, what do you say we? Oh, very nice.
Oh, what the
Very
fuck?
nice.
I didn't even see it. Whoa. I've got the magic.
Okay, anyways, what do you say we wrangle someone else in this chat, huh?
Dude, send him the link. Let's have him pop up live.
Can we do that?
Yeah, I think so.
No, I don't know.
Let's try it. Let's introduce him really quick. Should we introduce him really quick?
I don't know if it's gonna go through though.
I don't know why it wouldn't. Let's try it, dude. Let's try it. I'm so excited. Because now we can surprise each other with guests. If we can do that, you know what I mean?
Oh,
Dude, imagine I surprise you like George Lucas pops on. You imagine? He definitely listens, dude. The Cinephiles kind of broke their rule and started 10 days of the Oscars and talking about Oscar movies. And I think they talked about Oppenheimer. I think.
Today I listened to The Exorcist and Halloween.
Nice. Those are good ones. Dude, just imagine the Cinephiles when Oppenheimer is 10 years old.
I was actually literally just thinking that. And like Infinity War.
Oh.
Or No Way Home.
Oh my god, dude.
How have they not done the original Spider-Man trilogy?
That I don't know. I don't know how either of them feel about it. I don't know. If we have John Roca on, yes!
I'm here. Hold on. Let me get my shit together.
I'm just saying, if we have John Roca on the show, that's the first thing we're asking him. Why has the Cinephiles not done the original Spider-Man trilogy?
We need to have John Roca on soon.
Because you know what? Oh, no, never mind. Don't listen to me. Anyway, okay.
Can you hear this?
They've all been at least 10 years old. No, we can't hear that. Just so you know, we're live. Like, we're recording right now.
Golly.
Oh, golly.
Oh, golly.
All right.
You sound like a Wallace and Gromit character.
I'm sorry. I used to swear a lot until I worked with kids for student portraits, and I had to train myself to not swear so much.
Student portraits.
That fucking sucks.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Well, I'm ready. What's up?
What's up, dude?
Ladies and gentlemen.
Dude, have you seen the guy on TikTok that does, like, tests? He'll be like, how many sheets of wrapping paper can stop me?
Yeah, he did a
And
TV one.
He goes, JD's a Littleman?
Yeah.
That's what he says. Anyway, go ahead. You introduce him.
All right.
Because they probably don't know who this is just based off of him saying, oh, golly.
Well, I'm sure we're going to cut some of this out, trim some of this down.
Yeah, sure. Sure, you'll see what I do.
Okay, so, Andrew, I'm pulling up your stuff so I can hype you up.
Thank you.
Over 16,000 followers on TikTok. Right?
Well,
12.8.
Oh.
so close. So close.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, with 12.8 thousand followers on TikTok, 1 million likes on TikTok, and over 1,000 followers on Instagram, author of Empire of the Void himself,
Andrew Valenza!
Thank you for having me.
It's going to be awesome.
I'm very excited.
You're welcome. Thank you for having us.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Andrew, how the fuck are you, dude? How are you? How are you feeling?
I'm a bit nervous. As a matter of
why?
fact. I don't know. I'm surrounded by just such handsome men right now.
Yeah, we're also talented.
I'm
Don't
very
forget that.
intimidated.
I would be if I were you.
Ah.
You know what? We're so good at what we do. We're so good at what we do.
But
So today I'm very excited for today's episode because we are talking about Parker and I Dune 2 Something. Andrew. There's something that we're gonna Dune to Andrew.
No, you don't know what we're going to be Dune to, Andrew.
There we go.
Until right now. Because we're going to tell you. We're talking Dune 2, baby.
Dune Part 2.
We're talking bussy worms. We're talking Desert Eagle. We're talking Zendaya is not that great of an actress, question mark?
Better than Sydney Sweeney.
Not to cheer for the blonde white girl, but
I think Sydney
you think
Sweeney
she's
is bad. I think she's bad.
like bad,
She's bad.
or like
I
bad.
like the only movie I've seen her in is the only movie I've seen her in where she is a lead is what was that one with Glenn Powell?
Anyone but
you. I really wanted to see that.
It's
How
fun.
was it?
It's a fun movie.
It's good, but
She's not.
no.
I
Dude,
would
honestly-
argue, I would argue that some of her scenes really outshine any acting capabilities she may or may not have.
Listen to this. Sydney Sweeney, and I think Andrew might agree with me, is one of the better parts of Madam Web, and I think showcases her acting in that movie.
I haven't seen Madam Web, so I can't speak.
My takeaway from her in that movie was she was the only one that showed up on set like, hey guys, we can pull it together on this one.
Yeah.
And then immediately after that realized, please just go easy on us.
Do you think when she signed on, she totally thought she was signing on to like an MCU movie?
100%.
I'm sure they probably told her that. Like, yeah, this is the next big Marvel movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
because they have lied to actors and actresses before to get them into stuff. Like I think Bryan Singer or whatever director did X3 sent a fake script to Halle Berry so she would return.
Yeah, Brett.
Well, Bryan Singer didn't do the third one.
Okay, then whoever did the third one.
Yeah.
Bryan Singer just did other bad stuff, I think, right?
Yeah.
Well, he did the first 2 X-Men movies. He did a few X-Men movies, but he didn't do the third one. He did Superman Returns.
He did Days of Future Past.
Which fucks.
Days of Future Past is awesome. Andrew, side note, what's your favorite X-Men movie? Go.
Days of Future Past.
Hell
It was probably for just like nostalgia reasons. Like I grew up on X2.
Oh, and X2 is great.
Yeah. But as far as like genuine quality goes, like it's got to be Days of Future Past.
Yeah,
I totally agree. But that's just X-Men. If we're talking like movies that take place in that universe, then obviously it's Logan.
I think I picked Days of Future Past over Logan.
That's right.
I gotta agree. I think Logan is great. I don't want to take anything away from that, but for me, it's one of those things like they're both great. But Days of Future Past was great first. Like I think it did more for the X-Men movies to be like, hey, look how great we can be. Where Logan was just a reminder, because like X-Men was like way off the deep end when Days of Future Past came out, and that movie was so great. It's like this oh shit moment. While Logan's like, yeah, of course we can be that great, and we're gonna keep being that great.
I think Logan is better than any MCU movie.
Nah. I think Logan
I'm gonna stand by that.
is a little overhyped, to be honest. I think it's a solid 9 out of 10.
I think it's a solid 10 out of 10.
I don't know.
Anyways, what
it's
do
a
you
very
say we
yellow
get...
movie. It looks too yellow for me sometimes.
Well, listen, why don't we talk about another movie that's yellow that takes place in sand?
The SpongeBob
Attack of the Clones.
movie.
Yes, hell yeah.
Oh. Dune 2, baby! Let's go!
Denis Villeneuve's masterpiece, once again. Does the man ever miss? We may never know.
Enemy was okay.
I actually haven't seen Enemy.
Have you seen
Or
Enemy?
Sicario. I think Enemy and Sicario are the only Villeneuve movies I have not
Prisoners?
seen, and I really want to see Sicario.
Prisoners
is phenomenal.
So-
Sicario is of what I've seen. Sicario is his weakest, but again, that's not like a bad thing.
I've heard nothing but good things
It's
about
very
Sicario.
good.
Sicario sounds like if Mario had a cousin named Sicar, like Sick Car.
EO.
Parker, you're so funny.
Fuck you, Andrew. This is my podcast.
Okay, so Andrew.
Yes.
Initial thoughts. And you've read the book. You've read... I am blanking on the author's name. It's
Frank Herbert.
Frank Herbert. That's what I thought. Okay, I just didn't want to...
Worst name. Two first
That's
names.
why I didn't want to say it out loud, because I was like, I feel like Frank Herbert sounds...
Two first names. That's not normal, dude.
So, you've read the book.
Mm-hmm.
He's read all the books. No, wait, 6 of the books.
Yes, I've read all the Frank Herbert books and some of his kids' books.
Nice. I have not read any of them. I tried to read the first one, but I reminded myself that I can't read. So,
Fair enough.
No, you've read Diary of a Wimpy Kid.
I've looked at the pictures of Diary of a Wimpy Kid.
Gotcha. So you just overall knew the plot before going into the movie.
Right.
Gotcha.
I was a little confused because I was like, why are they not all stick figures? But anyways.
And why in Dune are they not stick figures, Andrew, since you've read it?
I did think that some of them looked a little too water fat for how they're described in the book. Not as bad as the 80s movie where they're just like regular dudes in the desert. At least this one tries to make them look a little dirty.
Dirty.
But yeah. No, it's this movie was everything I could have hoped for.
So you loved it.
I thought it was fantastic.
Great.
It's
Great.
Well, the thing is, like, as much as I love the book, for what this movie could have been, there is such, and I'm gonna get hate by Dune fans. There's such a low expectation.
From the book?
Yes, only because of the writing style. Not to say it's a bad story; it's a phenomenal story.
Right.
But so the first Dune movie is about 2/3 of the book, and that 2/3 is very like slow. It's methodical. All of this like political intrigue and planning, and for this great big second act finale, and it's phenomenal. The last third of the book, which is a movie that's over half an hour longer, is super rushed. It does not care about pacing at all. It's just this happened and this happened and this happened and now it's over. And it's like, what the hell? So my expectations for the movie were like, this could bomb really bad.
Really? You went into it like with that possibility?
When they were making it, yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
But also with the stuff that they left out of the first half of the movie, I was curious how they were going to address it with this, and I was not disappointed.
Nice. Parker, you have something to say.
Can you see that, Andrew?
Yeah, I was trying to wrap it up for you.
Did you go into... Okay, so you and I saw it, last Saturday?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So it had been out for like a week or two before that, right?
Yeah.
And overall reviews were out, and there was pretty much nothing negative, right? Did you still think it could have bombed after seeing all of the hype?
No, pretty much once the first trailer came out, I was sad.
Oh, gotcha,
Yeah.
gotcha.
Like,
okay.
I will say this, which this has nothing to do with the movie itself. I will say that the first Dune had better trailers, just in the sense that, like, the only thing I knew about Dune was the David Lynch movie that I had seen when I was a really young kid, and I thought it was ridiculous. I don't even think I finished it. I've seen it now, but when I was a kid, I honestly don't even think I finished it. So when I heard they were remaking it, I was like, okay. And then I saw the first trailer, and immediately I was like, this movie's going to be fucking amazing. And then Dune Part 2, the trailers came out, and they didn't have that impact on me that the first movie's trailers did, but I was more excited because I knew what I was getting into now, if that makes sense. It's like the hype for Dune 2, the hype I had for Dune 2 was on the movie alone, but the hype I had for the first Dune was like purely from the trailers.
I had like no hype for the first movie.
Really?
Because like
I didn't either.
I knew the movie was coming out, and I hadn't read the book yet. But I was like, this looks like a pretty good movie. I should read the book first. So I got the book, and I did not like it. And I read Dune Messiah, and I did not like it.
What did you not like?
You didn't like
specifically,
Messiah.
What did you not like about them?
So I was not in a good place to, like, literally not in a good place to be reading them, because I was in the desert at the time, and everything just sucked. Because I was in Kuwait, and it was horrible. And now I'm reading a book about other people stuck in the desert where everything sucks. And like, but part of me just didn't understand it either. Like, I didn't really grasp the full extent of the prescience ideas, and so because of that, some of the character choices they were still making, when I'm like, people are gonna die, why are you still doing this? How are you conflicted? Just don't do it. So I wasn't really grasping it. I was just annoyed the whole time. I went to it with a bad mindset.
Gotcha.
And then when the movie came out, I was like, yeah, no, that was faithful, and I understood it better. But it wasn't until like after the movie came out and I read the third book where it all really became clear to me.
And the third one is Children, right?
Yeah.
Children of Dune?
Yeah.
Okay.
So once all that was done, I went back to the movie again. I was like, okay, hell yeah, this is fantastic. And then I got super hyped for the sequel.
Nice. So, but you did like the first one when you saw it?
Yeah, I liked it.
Okay.
When I first left the theater, I was like, yeah, that was a 7 out of 10. It was one of those movies that really grew on me the more I watched it.
Yeah. I've only seen it a handful of times. I saw it opening the first one. I saw the first one opening night. I was so excited. One of my most anticipated movies that year. And that was like right after COVID. So I remember when it got delayed because of COVID, and I was crushed because I was literally like counting down the days for the Dune movie. And also this was before it was announced that it was going to be a 2-parter. So I really thought this was going to be one big movie, and then I saw it and I was like, there's no way Like there's no way they're gonna do it all in one movie. And then they of course ended it on the cliffhanger, and I was like, all right, here we go. Now I have a question that I want to ask both of you.
Okay.
Do you remember when the first Dune came out, Dune Part 1, and it ended on the cliffhanger, you know, with them with Paul and his mother being with the why am I blanking? Fremen, thank you. Being with the Fremen, and then Paul seeing, you know, like obviously Paul's father dying, and then the movie ends with Paul seeing the guy riding on the sandworm.
So sick.
You know? Yeah. And so, you know, like those who have read the book, those who have at least seen the David Lynch movie, they know what that means. And so we're like, oh my gosh, I cannot wait to see Paul riding the sandworm in the next movie. But when Dune Part 1 came out, Dune Part 2 was not guaranteed yet. Do you guys remember that?
Yeah.
No, because I didn't see this movie till September of last year.
Gotcha. But Andrew, you knew that.
Yeah. I
was nervous.
Well, I knew when it first came out, like I had an idea because it was going to be a part 1. I had an idea where they would leave off. I wasn't like totally right. But I knew like what a gamble this is going to be on the studio. Like the movie's already been fumbled once. But I saw it. I didn't see it opening week. I saw it like a little late with some friends. And I think that was like the day that they announced that part 2 was coming. So I was like, okay, so we're good. We're going places. But even still, I was still like, it's Hollywood. It could fall apart at any time.
They hadn't announced Dune Part 2 when Dune Part 1 came out, and they weren't really sure if they were going to announce it because it wasn't doing super well at the box office. But this was like right after COVID. So this was when Warner Brothers decided to release all of their 2021 movies on HBO Max the same day it was released in theaters, which was a hideous idea. And so that's why obviously wasn't doing well at the box office, was because everyone's like, why am I going to go to the theater when I can watch it at home the day of? I went to see it opening day. Same with Godzilla vs. Kong. That was another one that was released both, and the new Suicide Squad. The second Suicide Squad.
And then all the fucking like Snyder cultists are like, the Suicide Squad is horrible and didn't make any money. And I was like, it didn't make any money because of COVID and it was sent straight to streaming. Like,
yeah.
Stop.
I saw those were the 3 movies that I saw in the theater, was Dune, Kong vs. Godzilla, and then Suicide Squad. I was like, I don't care if I can watch them at home for free. I'm seeing this shit in the theater.
Yeah.
I'm so glad. Macho on that like same day release thing, and it was like me and Lexi in the theater and nobody else, and I liked it.
What'd you see?
At the Cry Macho.
Clint Eastwood.
Because I was like, he's probably gonna die soon, and I want to see just like one Clint Eastwood movie in theaters in my life.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think I've seen a Clint Eastwood movie in the theater. Damn.
So Dune. We keep getting. I feel
so,
like we keep sidetracked.
Okay, Andrew, do you think, after reading the book, do you think that Clint Eastwood would have been a better pick than
Paul? Timothy?
No.
Yes.
No. Then, dude, what the fuck is his name? That we said he was a bad casting choice. What the fuck is his name?
Oh, yeah, no, not at all. Christopher Walken.
I kept wanting to say Christopher Walter.
Oh, no.
But Christopher Walken was just a weird choice, so I was just wondering.
I don't understand this. I thought he was fine. And, like, I understand that people were like, it wasn't necessarily his performance. It was just the fact that it was just Christopher Walken.
Yeah, that's what we were saying.
Yeah.
The way he speaks, you know?
Yeah, it was a little too Walken-y for the Emperor.
Yeah.
I thought he felt a little stiff in the dialogue, like trying to say some of the names.
He's getting old.
The Hackenins. I can't do an accent, but
the
like
Hackenins. Listen, fellas, I need some more cowbell.
Yeah, it felt a little stiff, but also, I hate to say this, but he was just too damn old.
Yeah.
Do you have an actor in mind that you would have preferred to see?
Ron Howard.
Too old.
Too old?
So the thing, honestly, even though I still think he was a little old for it, In the 80s version, I don't know what the actor's name was, but he was great because he had such phenomenal presence and like reality in that role. But part of the spice, which he is heavily addicted to, is a geriatric, whatever it is. It like you maintain your youth for a lot longer. So it has to be somebody younger. I'd be fine with like 50s, but like somebody younger, but like an attractive 50s that like really carries this sense of like royalty to them. Christopher Walken doesn't really do that.
Okay, hear me out. I don't think we've seen him in a while. Like, I haven't seen him in any new stuff lately.
Joe Biden.
But just picture this.
Donald Trump.
I was going to say Obama.
No, Trump makes sense because the spice would make him look orange, you know?
That's true.
Now, let me be clear. The Atreides will never marry my daughter.
Okay, so hear me out, though. Tim Robbins.
I think he's a little too sweet looking.
If I may.
Okay.
Gary Sinise.
Danny DeVito.
Okay.
Danny.
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Actually, I mean,
he's got that look to him, you know.
Yeah.
No, actually, I do have one.
Okay.
He could have been great for Duke Leto, but if it really went give it to Oscar Isaac, Kyle MacLachlan for the Emperor.
Oh, interesting.
I don't know if I can picture him
What was he in?
at the top of my head, but
He was Paul in Dune.
Oh, that's right. You did say that.
That would have been an awesome like full circle casting moment.
Yeah, that would have been cool.
okay, that would have been cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, what do you think? Are you glad that, or I guess I should reword this. What do you think about how they handled Paul's mother and his sister?
Bro,
because
his mom got scary during this movie.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing that people don't realize, like, because the original, the David Lynch one, shows Paul as a hero.
Yeah.
You know, and that's
my issue. The rain is like my biggest gripe with that movie.
with the original.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what kills it for me.
Yeah.
But no, as far as Jessica and Aaliyah go in this, I think they handled it really well. Like, Jessica was flawless, exactly what she was supposed to be. Aaliyah, I think that was a great creative choice because it's very serious subject matter. Mm-hmm. And as cool, Aaliyah's character in the first Dune book only works on paper. I hope somebody can prove me wrong, but I'm going to be skeptical. Because
in the baby in the original, when she was like a little girl,
yeah,
that was weird.
Yeah, like I said, it's cool on paper. It's like you're picturing this child that has the maturity and voice of a woman, and it's like terrifying everybody around her. When you see that, like in the David Lynch movie, it's like
she's like, my brother's on his way, or like some stupid shit like that. Like, my brother's not very happy with you.
That's fucking scary, dude.
It was weird. It's weird.
Oh,
it's weird.
I don't like that shit at all.
So
it's weird.
So I'm glad they handled it the way they did in the movie. It doesn't ruin anything, because the only thing Aaliyah really does in it, other than scare the shit out of a bunch of kids, is she's the one that kills the Baron. But we don't... like, if it's fitting that they had Paul kill the Baron in this one.
Yeah. And then there was another thing that I wanted to ask you on that same topic. Oh, Anya Taylor-Joy as his sister grown up in that, like, vision. Mm-hmm. That was honest. I forgot that she was cast in the movie because it was like a secret role.
Yeah,
I totally forgot.
It was secret.
So when I saw her,
it was a secret until they let her be at the premiere, and it's like, why would you wait all this time?
No, it was announced, but no one said who she was.
But she wasn't announced until she was at the premiere.
Yeah, but they didn't say at the premiere who she was playing. It's just like, what is she doing here?
Wait, when was the premiere?
A few weeks ago, like a month or two ago.
No. Okay, then no. I've known about her casting for a while.
Oh, really?
Yeah, no, it was announced a while ago, but they just didn't
You
say
sure it
who she
wasn't
was.
just a rumor?
No, I never took it as a rumor. And so when I saw her in the movie, I was like, oh my god, I totally forgot she was in this.
Yeah, both Andrew and I said that we forgot as well. Like as soon as she popped on, we were like, oh.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I forgot too.
And yeah, it was. I liked it a lot, and the score. I mean,
Oh, Hans Zimmer.
Okay. Zim Edge Daddy.
So who is the better Fade Rotha? Sting
Sting. It's Sting.
or Austin Butler?
Sting's silver Ankini was pretty fantastic. I wish they kept that in.
That banana hammock thing that he wore.
Yeah.
And he's like standing there.
I wish we were talking about the trailer for Dune 2. I wish they didn't have the black and white scenes in the trailer at all, because that would have been a super cool surprise.
Oh my gosh! And that was another thing that when I remember seeing the trailers, and I thought it was an artsy thing, like Oppenheimer.
Yeah.
All of the court stuff all of the legal
too.
scenes were in black and white.
Me too.
So I'm like, oh, this must be an artsy thing that Denis is doing. And it wasn't until I was watching the movie and they were in the shade, in color, walking out into the sunlight, and then they mentioned it being a black sun. I was like, that is so fucking cool.
Yeah, it was sick.
And how have we not seen that in like Star Wars or what?
We have seen it.
We have seen. I pointed this out to Porker afterwards.
Oh, we have seen it.
No, bro,
Yeah.
guess the movie. You've seen this movie very recently.
I'm gonna give you a hint. It's really
it
bad.
recent- I've seen it
You
recently.
saw it within the last year or two. It came out. It came out around Nope.
It came out. Oh, it was Thor.
It
Yep.
was Thor. Yeah.
But that movie was so forgettable.
That
Like,
you
I
didn't
don't-
even remember.
They didn't do it right. They didn't
that
do it
you
right.
thought this version was the first time you saw it.
That's how bad the Thor one was.
What a
I hate
dumb
that
guy.
movie.
I don't hate that movie that much.
I-
I enjoy it more than Ragnarok, which is most people would hate.
That's so crazy. Tia.
No, Love and Thunder is more enjoyable than Ragnarok, because Ragnarok they ruined Hulk for me.
That is, I understand the Hulk argument. I don't know if I'd say ruin, because I think he was just.
They took
Well,
him,
no.
they nerfed him so hard, and like in not good ways.
Yeah, but I don't. That doesn't ruin the movie for me.
No,
like
that's-
honestly, I think his Hulk in. Well, I don't really want to talk about Thor anymore, but.
Wait, we need the clip for Instagram, Rowan. I think Thor: Love and Thunder is better than Thor: Ragnarok. Comment. Remember the timestamp, Rowan.
I'm gonna choose not to. Anyways, so what did you think about? I guess this is for both of you, but also mostly for Andrew because he did read the books. What did you think about Austin?
I've read the first 30 pages. I have, truly, twice.
That's probably more than what I read.
Yeah. I was telling Andrew I got stuck on all the names because I have horrible ADHD. So every time I read the name of something I didn't know how to pronounce, I got stuck on it for like 10 minutes trying to think about how to pronounce it. And so after a week,
I've done that before.
A week of reading this book, I was like, no, I can't do this anymore until I know how to say these things.
Okay, wait, real quick. Before I ask the other question, I'm going to ask a question for Andrew. When you were reading the book, did you read the book before you saw the David Lynch movie?
Yep.
Okay. So when you read the book, how did you pronounce Harkonnen? Did you pronounce it Harkonnen or Harkonnen? Because the new ones pronounce it Harkonnen, but the David Lynch one, they pronounce it Harkonnen.
I always pronounced it Harkonnen.
When I was reading it for the first time, I read it as Harkonnen. And then I saw the movie and they were saying Harkonnens, and I was like, oh.
I don't know. I just
Who
it felt most natural,
says
but,
what's
like,
official? You know what I mean? Like, do we know?
Well, Brian Herber was a producer on this, so he's probably giving some kind of.
That's fair.
I didn't know that. That's cool.
Fair.
Okay, so the question I was gonna ask originally, what did you guys honestly think about Austin as Fade Rotha?
I
Awesome.
thought he was great.
Awesome.
Oh, thank God.
Awesome. He is on his way to being I was talking to Andrew about this. I was saying I think we're getting into that newer generation of veteran actors that are like that are going to be veteran actors.
Yeah.
Like these are going to be
Like,
our Tom Hanks, and you know what I mean. Like these are going to be our generation's big actors.
That's so crazy. That's so. I was going to say crazy and great, and it came out as great. That's so crazy that you're saying that, because I was talking to my dad the other day, because he texted me out of the blue the other night, and he's like, because they put Wonka on HBO, so my dad has texted me, and he goes, I'm halfway through Wonka, it's pretty damn good. And I'm like, yeah, it's great. And then I called him the next day to talk to him a little bit, and then I brought up Wonka, and he brought up Timothy Chalamet. He's like, I love that Timothy Chalamet. He's like, he was killing it in Dune. He has so much range. Like, I'm so excited to see where he's going with this. And I was like, thank you. I am so excited to see his future, and Austin too. You know, those
Timothy
two guys.
Chalamet is still not there for me yet. I don't think he's.
I love Timothy Chalamet.
I think he's coming up. I think I'm like right in between you two.
He's on his way, but he's one of those actors. Same with Tom Holland, where I can just see through their performance. I can see that
it was Dune that sold me. It was Dune that sold me.
No, because
he killed it. He killed it with Dune.
He was good. He did what he was.
It was the
supposed
first
to do.
Dune that sold me.
He almost converted me.
But it was.
I'm kind of ready for a holy war or a nice little fun summer jihad.
Yeah, he was. He's close. He just like I feel like I'm watching him act. That's how I feel. Like I'm not believing his performance yet, even as Wonka.
Well, and that's the crazy because I'm pretty sure he went to school for theater.
Sure. And
that's kind of the difference between theater acting and film acting.
I disagree.
Is no. I'm agreeing with you on this.
I don't know if you are. We'll see. Keep going.
Okay, so this is what with theater acting, as someone who did theater all throughout high school and even a little bit after high school, it's you have to perform, you have to project, you have to be over exaggerate so that the person in the back row can see you.
Yeah, no shit. Yeah,
you know?
Yeah,
right. That's common sense. Film acting, you have to wind it back a little bit, you know, and make it seem more natural, right? And so there's a difference between like reading and like performing lines and like being the lines, you know, being the performance. You know, and so I get what you mean because
I would agree with you if there wasn't somebody in the cast that came from theater that I believed more than Timothy Chalamet. Actually, two people, Zendaya and Austin Butler. Because Austin Butler came from theater. He was in The Iceman Cometh with Denzel on Broadway.
Mm-hmm.
So
he also has a Disney Channel background.
Yes, he does.
That's how I found him. We
don't need to talk about it. And have you seen Aliens in the Attic?
Yes. That's. Except I knew who he was in Aliens in the Attic.
Because of Hannah Montana?
Because of Hannah Montana, because of iCarly.
iCarly, that's right. I forgot he was on iCarly. He was the guy that sang, right?
But he couldn't sing.
He was really bad. That's right.
He was really bad.
Dude.
Just like an Elvis.
That's crazy.
Just like what?
Just like an Elvis.
Bro, chill out. I thought it was...
did not finish that movie.
Did you? Okay, that's fine. But did you like him in Elvis?
He was fine, but it was Tom Hanks that was driving me crazy.
It took my hair, mama. Yeah, dude. Tom Hanks was... He's like the... Every time I watch it, I'm like, I don't know if he's like a caricature in that movie.
Yeah. But I thought Austin was incredible in the movie.
His transformation was insane. When I first saw the trailer, I didn't realize it was him. Like, having no eyebrows makes you look wild, dude. And that first introduction to him...
The arena.
Oh my god! When he grabs the blade and like tests it on somebody's fucking throat.
Oh yeah!
It's like, what the fuck is this guy? And confirmed, Austin Butler is hot like that apparently because I saw it with my gay friend Joe. He was like, you know, Austin Butler really didn't do it for me in Elvis, but he kind of did it for me in this movie. I was like,
that's great.
Fair enough.
That's great. Andrew, how do you think Austin's performance, you know, is compared to the book? Or I mean, is that something that
did he do it justice?
Stands out, or
I mean,
I guess from what I don't remember, or I don't know when the last time you read it was, but
Fade never really stood out to me much in the book. In the book, he was kind of just like, from what I remember. I mean, I feel like I should remember it better. I read it twice.
Hi, Lexi.
For a while, Parker says hi. In a lot of the book, he's kind of like the Baron's protege. Like,
Right.
he's much more in the first half of the book. He's like listening in on these meetings, like, "Hey, but what about?" And Baron's like, "Just fucking chill." Can I swear? I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
Sure. We
like,
always
"Just
click
chill,"
the
like,
explicit button when we upload.
okay, cool. He's like, "This is what we're doing. I'll take your input if it's decent, but just you're coming up next, so just listen and learn." So like, it's great that they introed him with the gladiator scene, because in the book, that's kind of his moment that is where he's proving himself. So it works as a great introduction, and he is a psychopath. They're all just psychopaths, and it's great.
Right.
So I think because they didn't have that kind of just like listen and learn setup for him that they did in the book, it made him much more appealing to watch as a villain.
Mm-hmm.
He just comes in with such a strong entrance and does not let it go from there.
Yeah. I remember hearing the casting, and just from the casting alone, I was like, I am so excited to see this, because this is a side of Austin that no one has ever seen before. But sort of, because he played the hippie in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, which, have either of you seen that?
No.
I didn't like it. I walked out.
Oh, that's right. You're weird.
No, he's not. He's the majority from what I've heard of that movie. Most people don't like
which
that fucking
I
movie.
genuinely do not understand.
Is it because Tarantino is so full of himself even more in that one than normally? Oh, you say yes?
Yeah, that's part of it. That's part of it. But also because I was bored out of my goddamn mind.
It's so good, but I don't want to backtrack on it. Like, I could dedicate an episode to that movie if we want to do.
We should have
like,
Andrew back, and I'll watch it since
Yeah.
I'm the only one that hasn't seen it, and I wonder who I'll fall more on.
Hold on. Did you even watch Dune 84 yet?
No.
Like you were supposed to?
No, I watched... What did I watch?
Did you watch the miniseries?
I have the miniseries.
You have the
I haven't watched it
miniseries?
yet. I have the first one.
There's a couple, because they did a Children of Dune
Yeah, I gotta
miniseries.
see it with
Like, they
Jake
skipped
and
Messiah.
McAvoy. No.
Weird.
That's part of the Children of Dune miniseries. Because Dune Messiah is
Oh,
such
it
a
is?
short book. Yeah.
Oh, gotcha. What's your favorite book?
Children and God Emperor are tied for me.
Gotcha.
I've heard like
Gotcha.
Messiah, from my understanding, is like everybody's favorite. So that's crazy that you don't like
I heard Messiah has like a lot of action in it.
Ooh. I mean, Messiah has some good action, but historically, especially when it came out, everybody hated it.
Really?
And a lot of it came from the fact that it's grown with time, but when it came out, people didn't like it because I can say this now; it's not a spoiler. Paul's not the good guy,
Right.
but when the book first came out, people, like some people are doing nowadays, are like, "Wow, what a cool dude he is," and he's the hero. But Frank Herbert was like, "No, you're wrong. That is not what I was doing with that." So he wrote Dune Messiah to kind of like really emphasize like 60 billion people dead in Paul's name.
He's not
the good guy.
Yeah.
And a lot of readers felt like they were being betrayed by Frank Herbert, like, you destroyed our hero and all this stuff. It's like, no, that was always the point.
It's like if which I know, obviously I know that George Lucas pretty much took everything from Dune to make Star Wars. But it would be like if rather than releasing them 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, it's like if you actually released them starting with Anakin's story, and then like by the third movie, people are like, "What the fuck? He's the bad guy," and it's like that's
the point.
That's literally the point.
I think we've got actually gotten to the point where it's most close from the fans' perspective. It's like you make 4, 5, 6, show this hero's journey for Luke, and then episode 8 is like, actually though, he's kind of a bitch, and then the fans would get upset.
Well, that was different because that wasn't the original creators coming in and being like, this was the plan all along. That was a guy that came in that thought he knew what he was doing, and he completely fucked over his character. Yeah.
I'm very excited for Dune Messiah though.
Yes, and Denise said he wants to do it, so
yeah, they're working on it. It's happening. There's only one thing that I've been thinking of that
God damn it.
am not happy they removed from the movie.
What?
I'll wait for Parker to get back in because it's a pretty major thing.
Okay.
In my opinion, Parker, you're back. Okay. So there's only one thing that I wish they didn't remove from the book, and this is totally personal because even in the book, I'm like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
And because it shows up in the book, it's made to be this like big deal, and then it goes absolutely nowhere. So, so Jamis, the guy he kills at the end of the first one
Right.
to take his place in, what's going on with Parker? Okay, so a big thing in Fremen culture. Is like, you remember the whole thing with like Stilgar's like, hey, kill me so you can become the leader.
Yeah.
So that extends to a lot of Fremen culture. If you kill someone in hand to hand,
Oh, hang on. I gotta start a new recording because Parker's being a little bitch.
Okay, let's try this again. Go ahead. The Fremen.
So what I was saying, in Fremen culture, if you kill somebody in honorable combat, then you take their place. You like if Paul killed Stilgar, he'd become the leader of the tribe. So he took Jamis's place in the tribe by killing him, and in the book, this extends to all of his possessions. So when they get to Siege Tabor, or Tabra, as they say in the movie, that's one thing I messed up, I guess. Jamis's wife is like, hey, I mean, I guess I'm yours now.
Oof.
Also, you have kids and a house and this nice coffee maker. And Paul's just like, bro, I'm 15, and I don't want that.
Is he
But
15
like,
in the book?
In the book, he's 15. Yeah. So like, but they're like, hey, you got it, dude. You got to take this wife and these kids. You are responsible for them now. So Paul like accepts them, but it's kind of just like, hey, you guys do your own thing. I'm gonna hook up with Chani because she's hot. And it feels like such a major thing that they just don't do anything with. Even at the end when he becomes emperor, it's not like, oh, by the way, I got child support, so like the spice income's got to go to them. No, it shows up and it's gone.
Yeah. Yeah. How? Okay. So he's 15. I didn't know he was 15 in the book.
Isn't he 15 in the movie?
That's another thing I don't think they considered when they decided to just make it one. There's a lot of stuff I don't think they considered when they split it into two movies. Because it's very obvious that they were like, we're going to do the first one and then see what happens. Instead of just like, write two scripts, let's do the first one first and then see. Because by making it like, they filmed the first one, and then they get to the second one, it's like, okay, so we got to have Aaliyah, but we don't want to show Aaliyah. So we got to do this all within 9 months before she gives birth.
Right.
But doing that means that 5 to 6 year series of time jumps that they have in the book, where Paul becomes an adult when he marries into the royal family and has a child and all of this stuff, can't happen. So now he's still a 15-year-old marrying the princess.
Yeah. I didn't know he was 15 in the book.
There are some holes popping up in this now. Hold on a second. How good is this movie?
Started the episode at a 10 out of 10. We get down to a 4 by the end. I thought it was pretty incredible. I mean, again, I haven't read the book all the way through. But as somebody who wasn't like the hugest, biggest fan of the first movie, I do think this is a pretty perfect movie for what it is.
No, it's fantastic.
I loved the first one when I saw it. I could not wait for the sequel, and I love the sequel, and I can't wait to see it.
The first one,
Again.
I had waited 2 years, so like there was just infinite hype around it, and so like
Yeah.
it really could not have lived up to my expectations. But I think it's like an 8 out of 10. I think it's really good. But then I think the new one's a 10 out of 10. It's perfect.
I'm gonna have to wait. I'm gonna hate this wait because I want them to make all 6 books into movies.
Mm-hmm.
Because the ending for the last one is just so wild. It's not like the weirdest thing that happens in it, and I won't spoil it, but it's just like, if you know the last book, and I'm not talking about the net, there's a group of people that just shows up out of nowhere, and I can't wait because it's so wild and crazy.
Oh, is that the one you were telling me about?
Yeah. But like the books, I swear the books get so fucking weird, and it's beautiful.
What's the deal with Paul's son Leto, and he's like a half worm or something like that?
Don't spoil
do we
it.
care about
Don't
spoilers?
spoil it. I don't want to know. I don't want to
No,
know.
I want to know.
Text him. I don't want to know.
So let's just take your headphones off, Parker. I'll give a spoiler warning and then give you a thumbs up. Okay, you can't hear me. Okay, so spoiler warning in 3, 2, 1. Okay. God Emperor of Doom answers the lifelong question, would you still love me if I were a worm? And, yeah, Paul's son just gets fucking wild. It's genuinely like the greatest book I've ever read in my life.
Wow. Which one is it? Which book is it?
God Emperor of Doom.
Oh,
It
that's
comes into play at the end of Children of Dune. And it's number 6 is like the spoiler for that is the Hasidic Jews show up out of nowhere, and then it just ends. There's no setup. There's no payoff. It's just like, oh, by the way, here's a group of Hasidic Jews that's been hiding.
Okay, now I'm gonna react. Wait, I'm gonna react like insane so that Parker is like, what the fuck? Okay, you ready?
Okay.
Just say something. Just say anything so that you're talking.
And that's when I had my first period.
What? What the fuck?
I know. All right,
Okay.
come on in, Parker.
You guys are crazy to watch without hearing. I hope you know that.
Damn.
I saw like.
So yeah, highly recommend those books.
Okay, cool. What I might do is
Yeah.
get the audiobooks.
Yeah, so those are good. For Dune, the first audiobook is dramatized. So like it has a voice, a cast of voice actors portraying all the roles, and it's really good. There's even like a kind of a soundtrack to go with it.
If it's not Hans Zimmer, that I don't want it.
Yeah, it's not. It's royalty free.
Gotcha.
The hot mic, bro, the hot mic where they were talking about, who's their favorite between Hans Zimmer and John Williams, and then John Roca was like, what if John Williams scored a Dune movie? Like, what would that sound like? And I was like, that would be cool. Very whimsical.
I'm glad Hans Zimmer did it. What I noticed with Hans Zimmer,
He captured the scope really well.
he did, but I noticed it was very reminiscent of an earlier score he did, which is perfect in tone, like thematically. It reminded me a lot of Prince of Egypt. Which he did the score for. But I mean that movie too, phenomenal.
Yeah.
His score.
I haven't seen the movie, but I've heard the score.
So it is, in my opinion, the greatest animated movie of all time.
Wow.
Above Spider-Verse.
What about Treasure Planet?
Fuck off. Don't make me look like a bitch. Okay, it's number 2. It's
like saying Spirit is like a top 5. I fucking hate it.
Oh, Spirit's
Spirit's great. That's
I
Hans Zimmer.
fucking hate Spirit, dude.
Fuck
All my
you.
homies hate Spirit. Fuck that movie.
I ain't your homie then.
Fuck. I don't care. Fuck that movie, dude.
Lion King. He did the Lion King.
I just
too.
got a text reminder that Interstellar is a fantastic movie. 7 out of 10. Fuck you.
I agree. 7 out of 10 for Interstellar.
Oh no.
I'm sorry.
I love how like every time Andrew says something about a movie, Browan's like, no.
It's just too unoriginal.
Oh.
I love it because it is just Christopher Nolan doing 2001: A Space Odyssey.
Back to Dune.
Yeah, yeah. But anyway, I agree. But back to Dune.
I didn't mean it, but that's fine. Go ahead. Okay.
I don't know what.
We were
what
talking
else
about
is there?
Hans Zimmer and like John Williams. One thing I'll say about Hans Zimmer, The one thing I can say about Hans Zimmer that might put him over John Williams for me is because Hans Zimmer just has more range.
I was just thinking that.
I
Because
actually disagree with that.
No, well, okay, just hear me out.
I
hear me out, hear me out.
100% disagree with that because
Hear me out.
everything John. No, all right, you know what? Go ahead. I was going
Well,
to say John
all I'm
Zimmer.
gonna say is if you listen to any John Williams soundtrack, immediately you know that's John Williams, which is great.
I think the exact same thing about Hans Zimmer though. If you
No,
listen to it
I
for
disagree
10,
because there are so many movies where I'm like, this is Hans Zimmer? Damn. Like
No,
Interstellar, for example, he literally was like, what instrument have I not used?
that's
and it
fine,
was like
but
organ.
the sound
The
still works and sounds like him is what I'm saying. And everything he
The only
does
time.
just builds off of itself. That's all he does. He just makes soundscapes, which work perfectly. But every time I hear anything, I know it's John Williams. I mean, not
So
John
the
Williams,
only time-
Hans Zimmer.
The only time I've ever been like sure, like okay, this is Hans Zimmer, is with Pirates of the Caribbean because he just reused his score from Gladiator.
Well, he didn't do Pirates of the Caribbean.
He didn't do the
What?
first one.
He didn't do the first one.
He didn't do the first one.
Klaus, he helped write the theme, but he didn't score anything else.
Yeah, the theme for Pirates.
Yeah, that was that he co-wrote that with the guy who actually
Yeah,
scored
that's
the movie.
just Gladiator. That's in Gladiator.
No, yeah, no, it's true. But also, he only co-wrote it. So, like,
Okay, well,
you know what I mean?
point being, that's the only time I noticed. So I'm on Browen's side for this.
No, because
Thank you.
John Williams has thrown jazz into his scores, like genuine
Well,
jazz. And Hans Zimmer would
Cantina
never do
Band
something
doesn't
like that.
count. That's
Cantina Band's not what I'm talking about. Not what I'm talking about at all.
That's not jazz. That's jizz.
Yeah,
actually.
that's jizz.
So,
That's jizz.
No, and
he invented a genre of music.
it's like okay. I will say that John Williams is the greatest composer of all time.
Okay. Interesting.
But I think my personal favorite might be Hans Zimmer.
The only Hans Zimmer score that I was shocked that he did was The Holiday. But he also
I don't
co-wrote
know that one, but
That
he's
it's simple, and that's why it doesn't sound like his music.
gotcha.
I don't want to like be that guy, but I did not care for
Careful.
John Williams. I didn't care for John Williams' last few for like Indiana Jones 5 or the last few Star Wars movies. I thought he was great for like Episode 7. I liked that score a lot, but past that, did not care for that.
He's reusing a lot of stuff.
I still
he's-
have
he's-
not seen Dial of Destiny.
That's fine.
I
just
feel
don't
like
know-
I say that on every episode.
You do say that on every
Like,
episode, and every
update,
episode,
still
everyone's
haven't seen
like,
it.
"Oh, that's crazy! I had no idea."
I will be glad. I will always be happy that I saw it because I saw it with a very handsome gentleman.
Yeah, that guy was jerking off the whole movie.
But
Bro, no, honestly, I was telling Bro, he should get stoned and watch it. It would probably be like a 7 out of 10 for him. I told him it's better than Crystal Skull.
no.
Yes, don't even try to say that
do we
right
have
now.
a Crystal Skull defender?
No,
Yeah, I have some
you do
very-
not exist. Those people are
I have
not
some
real.
very strong arguments.
The-
I have some very strong arguments.
The only good part of that movie, I like it more than most people. I would probably give it a 6 out of 10. I like it more than most people.
Yeah, that's fair. It's a 6 out of 10.
It's like Spider-Man 3 level bad almost.
No,
You don't
because
think so?
Spider-Man 3
Because
is not
Spider-Man
bad.
3 is fantastic.
Spider-Man 3 is a bad movie. I don't know why people are like starting now to pretend that it's not. It's like people that are like coming out for the Elektra movie. They're like, that movie actually wasn't that bad. Or like
or
Fan Four Stick.
Daredevil.
Daredevil's got parts that are good, but it's not good.
Oh, look!
No,
how,
Daredevil's
look
not
how
good.
everything-
I will never say Daredevil's
well,
good.
how the turntables.
Daredevil's a solid
That's the-
4 out of 10 for me. Maybe a 5.
That's bad.
Yeah, I know. I didn't say it was good. I said there were good things in it, and there were.
Look, I can go on for as long as need be and I can convince you.
No.
That Die of Destiny is a bad movie, and Crystal Skull is not as bad as everybody says.
Crystal
It's
Skull is not
great.
as bad as everybody says. I agree with that statement wholeheartedly.
But the Indiana Jones franchise is just one solid. Well, there's like it goes up a little bit for Temple of Doom, but there's just like one very small jump, and then just a slow and then sharp decline.
Where do you think the decline starts in terms of runtime of which movie?
I mean, obviously, like the decline for Crystal Skull starts.
No. Like in the overall scope.
Oh, it's we go up
Raiders.
from Raiders to Temple, and then we go down, but not by much for Last Crusade.
Whoa!
And down. Last Crusade is not the best of the trilogy.
No. I don't think it's the best of the trilogy.
It is the worst of the trilogy, I'll say.
No, I'm saying after it goes down just a little bit from Temple
just
of
barely,
Doom.
just like
barely.
5%. 5%.
Yeah, 5%, and then a sharp decline to Kingdom, and then the pits of hell for Dial of Destiny.
Dial of Destiny is not okay.
I am still taken back by you guys saying Temple is better than Crusade.
We've said this to you before. I've said this to you before. Dude, I swear to God.
There is no better character work in any of the indie movies than his arc in Temple of Doom.
What about his relationship with his dad?
That's not an arc. That's just a relationship.
There's bonding there, and it's great. It's fantastic. It gives the movie a perfect ending.
Yes, it does. They could have stopped it.
But as far as character growth goes, there is nothing more satisfying than him telling Short Round, like, look, we're just in it for the money, and then being the savior of hundreds of little slave children.
And it brings you to where he is in Raiders.
Yes.
So it makes Raiders even better for me.
Raiders has no character arc. He's just the good guy.
He could have not been there, and that movie probably would have ended up the same.
No, I disagree. I made a whole YouTube video on this.
I don't know.
I don't know. I still can't get behind Temple of Doom. I'm just not a fan of it.
The more I watch it, the more I think that it belongs in my top 10 of all time.
Whoa! Dude, respect.
Raiders, I can understand.
Virtual fist bump, dude. Respect.
I don't know if I've said this publicly or not, but Temple of Doom has been one of the biggest foundations of my next book.
Really?
Tell them what else it's. Tell them what else.
I'm actually curious now. But I mean, like, I'll wait, but.
No, it's. I mean, I guess Parker wants me to say it's King Kong and Temple of Doom. No,
okay.
But seriously, that character journey for Indy has always really stuck with me.
Yeah.
It culminating in that scene where like the kids are getting whipped because I love that. Child abuse. No, but like you just see like you hear the 1-2 punch, the guard like flies like skids across the ground, and then there's that slow pan.
Dude, that shot's so good. That shot is so good.
I think
it's.
For me personally, I think the reason I'm just not a fan of it is because I prefer, which I know that Raiders does tackle this stuff, and even Last Crusade tackles it, but I just prefer when Indiana Jones isn't as fantastical and like mythical.
I don't know.
So you're gonna love Dial of Destiny,
yeah,
because he is not fantastic in that at all.
Raiders is pretty fantastical, dude. I mean, there are ghosts in
well,
that.
only the last scene.
Yeah. I mean, yes, but...
And also at the same time, it's like, shit, I mean, who knows what happens when you open the Ark of the Covenant?
Who knows what happens when you get your heart ripped out? You know what I mean?
Who knows what happens when
I know, you fucking die. I've done it.
Maybe.
It's magic. It's magic.
It's magic.
Okay?
It's all magic.
That's where the movie loses me.
Last Crusade, he's going to find a guy that's been alive for thousands of years.
But again, it's only... They're looking for the Holy Grail. And again, it's really only gets mystical at the end.
So you prefer lesser runtime of mystical is what you're saying?
My favorite parts of Indiana Jones are when it's not mystical. And so like Temple of Doom, my favorite parts of Temple of Doom, the opening scene is amazing. You know, and... Or even when they're in the caves and, she has to reach her hand in through all the bugs and him and Short Round are getting crushed. That's a great scene.
Insane.
But the heart being ripped out, Indy being like possessed or like mind controlled, that's just where it loses me. And yes, freeing the slave children is amazing. It's great. I'm not totally trying to shit on the movie. I don't think it's a bad movie. It's just out of the three, it is my least favorite. I have watched it recently, and it's still my least favorite of the three. It's never been my favorite as a kid. I don't know. That's just
So
me.
how would you feel if, let's say, an old Indiana Jones that got shot in the stomach has been bleeding out for 3 hours, totally fine, and then travels back in time?
Is that Dial of Destiny?
No, just hypothetically.
Because I don't know anything about Dial of Destiny.
I'm just saying, hypothetically.
Yeah, and that was my problem with Crystal Skull. I mean, aside from just like the excessive amounts of CGI and just the cheesy writing and honestly the cheesy performances, I was just like, aliens?
I
Really?
don't mind the aliens so much anymore, which honestly is one of the reasons I like it better than Dial of Destiny. The whole point of Indiana Jones from conception is he is a character that lives within the realm of film.
Right.
Correct? So he's in these action serials because in the time that movie takes place in, the popular movies of that time were those action serials.
Mm-hmm.
So the 50s, early 60s, when Kingdom takes place, the popular movies of that time, the popular adventure movies, were those Saucer Men from Mars movies.
Sure.
So it makes sense that they make that choice. And the movie does itself, in its presentation, in its set design, and its lighting, it does make it feel very much like those movies. Like that opening scene when they're pulling up to the checkpoint, it's like, this looks like it's from the 50s. And it's phenomenal.
Well, and
so the creative...
Sorry, go ahead.
So the creative decisions I agree with, which is why I don't agree with Dial of Destiny, because it just reverts back. It doesn't make it a 60s action movie. It makes it a 30s action movie again.
And I'll give you this for not Temple of Doom, Crystal Skull. I'll give you this for it. And this was actually something that my history teacher pointed out. Because my history teacher loves Indiana Jones. Like, he had posters in the room of the first three. So he loves Indiana Jones. And Last Crusade is his favorite. And we were talking about Indiana Jones one day, and then we started kind of shitting on Crystal Skull. And he pointed out that although he's not a fan of Crystal Skull, he did give it this, and I'll always remember it, and so I'm going to bring it up now. It's very... There are cultures out there that absolutely worship aliens like this. Yes. You know? That, like, Aztecian cultures that absolutely, like, you know, where do these pyramids come from? You know, a lot of people say it was aliens that built them. It was these aliens that were worshipped and stuff, these aliens that were gods. So it does also kind of tackle into that other side of the world where, rather than believing in religion or science, I mean, I guess kind of science, but you'd believe in extraterrestrials.
Yeah.
But personally,
that's not really the problem with the movie for me, but yeah.
Oh, I just and for me, it's just that's cool. I'm just like, not for an Indiana Jones movie. That's not why I came here, you know.
Which is why they should have ended at 3.
Yeah. They definitely should have ended it.
I'm saying as a for what it is movie, like Halloween 4, a for what it is movie, I enjoy it. Parker.
Oh no, I think I lost
By
it.
Halloween 4, did you mean Halloween Ends?
No,
like
Curse of Michael.
Okay.
I've
I've only seen the first one, the Rob Zombie reboot, and then the new ones.
Me too. Rob Zombies is not very good. But I have a question, Andrew. If Dial of Destiny was pretty much entirely, in terms of tone, like the first 20 minutes, would you like it more, you think? Because the first 20 minutes felt the most like an Indiana Jones movie to me.
I wouldn't. I don't think I would. And I'm not saying that to be like a dick. I don't think they could have made it work. They gave them the movies. The series had 2 endings already that were both fantastic. Nothing about the movie would have felt genuine to me. But also, like I was saying, like how the movie evolves with time, with cinema growing older, and indie living within that world. it would feel like if they did go back to the original style, it would have felt like such a cop out and de-evolution of the character.
Yeah, I just don't think they got the right guy to direct it. I don't think James Mangold was.
Which was so weird because I thought that was totally right up his alley because he did Logan, and like I've said before.
Yeah, but Logan's not an Indiana Jones movie.
Yeah.
You know
No,
what I mean?
but I think if he brought some of the tone of Logan to an Indiana Jones movie, it would have been really good. You know,
It
could
like
have been for sure.
The problem is his intention was off from the beginning, because he wanted to do from the very start. He wanted to do a cranky old man movie, and
like Logan.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like Logan. But that's not Indiana Jones. Like I heard somebody say, like my old boss at the video show was like, well, the things that are going on with him in life right now are realistic, like the divorce and like what happened with Mutt. She's like, that's realistic. That happens in real life. I'm like, this is Indiana Jones. This is not real fucking life.
Yeah.
And so trying to ground it in some kind of in that sense of reality is the first misstep, but also doubling back on two beautiful endings already is just such a major misstep.
And not having a better ending than those two.
Two beautiful endings: the riding off into the sunset, and then the wedding.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
The ending to the newer one is like fine if it weren't the last one.
Gotcha.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Okay.
It's like if we had one more adventure with Indy, this ending wouldn't have bothered me.
Gotcha.
But because it's like this is the last time we're seeing him as this character, that's all you could have done to end it. You know what I mean?
Did I tell you that I almost watched it when my dad came here for Christmas?
Yeah. Yeah.
Did I tell Andrew?
I don't know. Go ahead.
It was so my dad. The state I live in, it's only my siblings and I that live here. My parents live in different states, and so my dad came here for Christmas, and he was staying with me, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, new Indiana Jones is on Disney Plus. I'll save that for when he gets here." Like, you know, there's no one else I'd rather watch the new Indiana Jones with than the man who showed me the first one, and he gets here. And I forget about it, but then someone brings it up, and I look at him, and I'm like, "Oh yeah, it's on Disney Plus. We gotta watch it." And he goes, "It sucked."
Yeah,
I was like,
I think you talked about this on the podcast.
Probably.
I just warned my dad, please don't.
I don't know. I maybe because the first time I saw it, I kind of felt how Andrew did. And I still reserve some of those feelings. I don't think it's a good ending. I don't think it should exist. But after seeing it again and knowing what I was getting myself into, I felt better about it. You know what I mean? It's like one of those movies that I think Andrew was kind of saying, like, it is what it is, and that's what you have to take it for, you know?
Gotcha. Well,
Back to Dune.
Yeah,
dude.
Spent 20 minutes more than 20 minutes just talking about Indiana Jones, which, you know what?
I feel like that was my tangent.
Those are also
apologize.
they're Sandy movies.
Yeah. So, where were we with Dune
It's fantastic.
Part 2? It's great.
It's
fantastic.
fucking awesome.
We love it.
It's fucking awesome.
If we're
See
if
it in
we're
a fucking
finishing up-
movie theater.
Yes, if we're finishing it on this, if we're wrapping up now on Dune 2, the one thing I will say that I am nervous about moving forward
Okay.
is Chani.
Ooh, yeah, okay, continue.
Johnny like a
So the whole point of Chani's character in the book is she is Paul's ride or die, no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Literally.
she's with him no matter what. To a point where it kills their kid. Because Paul's like, hey, maybe it's thrown out there. We've got a kid. You should, protect while I'm out doing jihad stuff. And she's like, no, you are God. I'm sticking with you, no matter what. And then their son dies because she's not doing her
Is that Leto?
One of the Letos, yes. So where it's in the book, where it's in the movie, where she's like, I'm not buying this. It grounds Paul's character more. It gives him much needed grounding that he needs in the movie, but at the expense of being a totally different character.
Mm-hmm.
I don't mind it so much because it's one of those things that is necessary for the movie to have. But now it opens it up where, like, at the end of the book, it's like, well, he's got his wife now, and he's got his concubine Shani, and she's like, all right, whatever it takes for the politics of the universe and supporting the Messiah, the Mahdi. So in this one, where it's like she's just bailing on it. That's a pretty major hole moving forward if they want to keep it accurate to do Messiah. So
I don't know.
I mean, it's already clear they're taking one movie at a time.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
Interesting.
We'll see if they double back. But other than that, I really got no gripes other than the where's Paul's other wife and 2 kids.
Yeah.
And coffee machine.
Yeah, I think it was great. I absolutely loved it. I hope to see it again at least one more time before it leaves theaters. I think it really just kind of depends on my budgeting. But I really do hope to see it again. I'm so glad that you guys loved it as much as I did. I'm so glad that everyone else loves it as much as we do. I cannot wait for the next one. Parker, you have something to say?
Don't let him talk.
Andrew.
He's like, can you guys hear me?
This whole time I didn't hear it. When the hype dies down a little bit, after it's been out for a while, we should go see it at the Lincoln Center in 70mm.
I would love to. We just got to go before mid-April.
Can you imagine owning that reel of film? That giant ass, or the Oppenheimer one?
Yeah,
like
the Oppenheimer one
ass,
is like a fucking table.
It's huge, dude. Anyway, I think it'd be cool. Anyway, okay. I loved the movie.
It was great. Great
cinema.
I don't have anything else to say.
Andrew, promote your stuff.
Yeah, where can people find you?
Where can we find you, and what are you doing?
You can find me on TikTok and Instagram at AV Collecting.
Boom.
Shameless plug, or my website, valenzapublishing.com. We have books.
Boom.
And then that's it. Thank you guys for having me. I've been really excited about this.
It's been overdue. I don't know why.
Every time we're done recording an episode, we're like, oh yeah, let's do the next one with Andrew. And then we don't do another episode for a month because we're so fucking busy. And we'll forget.
Yeah.
So
we were like, we're gonna have Andrew on when his book comes out, and we're gonna talk about his book. We're gonna have Andrew on when we're gonna do a deep dive on Spider-Man 3.
Yeah,
which we didn't do. We haven't done that yet, though.
We could just do like the movies I will defend and nobody else will, like Kingdom and Spider-Man.
You know what?
3.
We should. There's a thing on Letterboxd that somebody did was like, what's the lowest rated movie you've given 5 stars? And we should all find those and then each defend them.
Ooh, that'd be fun.
I don't know if you I'm sure you guys did your movie news already. I just gotta ask you real quick. Did you share any Spider-Man news?
No.
About Spider-Man 4?
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't say anything. No, I kind of forgot about it.
Is it about Moreland?
What?
Okay, go.
I just wanted to share with you guys. Sam Raimi has expressed interest in picking up Spider-Man 4 again.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Tom Spider-Man 4.
Oh no!
But that's been tossed
circulating
around
for over a year now.
That's been tossed around. Yeah.
Since Multiverse of Madness came out, he's been like, yeah. But then the other day, Thomas Hayden Church was on a podcast, 2 separate podcasts, saying, yeah, I've heard he's doing another one. So could be finally happening. He said with Toby.
And it's so funny because we were talking about it. I would love a Logan style.
No, that
Spider-Man
take needs to die. That is such a fucking internet take of yours. That take.
It's not an internet take. It is my personal take.
That is a horrible. That's like everybody on Twitter that's like, Andrew was a good Spider-Man, Toby was a good Peter, and Tom is both. It's like, dude.
I also said that before everyone else did, and then I was like, damn it, now I can't say it anymore.
Dude. Have a goddamn personality. They're both wrong.
Every single thing I've ever said has been from my noggin, not from everyone else's.
The best Spider-Man is Japanese Spider-Man, and that's my final
the one with
word.
the guns.
No, but when I say,
I have a,
but what? Okay, so are you telling me that you want Spider-Man 4 to be just like?
We don't want it to be Logan. We don't want Logan style.
I want a Spider-Man 4 where he is. I want live action Peter B. Parker.
Yeah, but we've seen in No Way Home that his life is pretty okay. So that would be a big backstep.
Yeah. Well, Hollywood loves to do that with legacy characters, so
well, this could be
anyway.
I mean, I don't know. And if we were to get like an Andrew Amazing Spider-Man 3, I want it to take place before No Way Home.
That I would agree with. That I would definitely agree with. But I don't think it's going to happen, unfortunately. But, Andrew, where else can they find your stuff?
At Amazon.
Amazon!
Empire of the Void.
And soon The Lost World,
Yeah,
right?
I was going to say, what are you working on right now?
When
June
is
11th,
it?
We'll be releasing Lost World of the Void.
When?
With a special June 11th.
Oh, shit.
With
That's
a
sooner than I
special
thought.
hardcover double feature of the first 2 books with a special short story in between and custom made borders on the pages.
That's sick.
I'm very excited. I can't wait to get the cover.
Are you done with your next one?
Yeah. Yes, I sent it for the final round of edits to the editor last night. So we're getting that back, and by the end of the month, it'll go out to the advanced readers for review. Just so you both know, actually, bro, and I don't have your address, but you are getting gift copies. So
Yes! Let's fucking go, dude!
So you better post them.
Oh.
Let's go, dude. I was literally just thinking that I want to read it.
Fuck yeah.
Because I don't know if I told you, I finished your first book. So.
You did not. You didn't leave a review. That's why I didn't know.
I haven't finished it, but...
Well, you can't read.
That's right.
Yeah,
I forgot. I can't read.
I'll FaceTime you every night and read you to sleep.
Okay. Are you going to have an audiobook come out soon? Because...
I want to.
Oh my God.
Finding the time to do
I've got a great question for you, speaking of an audiobook. As an author, if you could have anybody read your audiobook,
Ooh.
dead or alive, who would you choose?
Ooh. Jesus.
Gilbert Gottfried.
You're just saying that because you read that 50 Shades of Grey.
That's a Lacey.
Andy Serkis. I listened to. He did the audiobook for the Silmarillion and other.
No
books.
way,
and
that'd be so
yeah.
good.
Yeah.
So good.
I'm
So,
surprised you didn't say Clint Eastwood.
Too old.
What? Are you ageist?
I cannot. Yes.
He's almost
I cannot
100.
imagine. I cannot
So is
imagine
John
Clint
Williams.
Eastwood doing a voice for Lacey.
Ooh, I think that'd be hot.
That's great.
Might be.
Are you saying Lexi doesn't remind you of Clint Eastwood? Because that's kind of disrespectful.
I mean, sometimes.
So, when you want her to? Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, bro,
Anyway.
where can they find you and me?
You can find me on Instagram and TikTok, Bro and the Movie Maker. You can find Parker.
At Parker McNerney or Blu-ray Daddy. And after everything, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, follow, rate, and share this podcast with your friends and family and on your socials to help more people find us. As always, thank you for listening, and we'll see you next week.
I love you.
Love you, bye.
Bye.